All right, here we are, diving right back into it at Studio G. Glad to have you here. Look, all the trend lines have been going one direction for a month now. In fact, over at 538, it's now 1.8% advantage Kamala Harris on the national stage, they say. But 4 out of 5 national polls, including the TIP poll and the Atlas Intel poll, have Trump leading nationally. They say he's going to win the popular vote. What do you think of that? Jonathan McQuay, national spokesman for the Stop Kamala Project. Yeah, Stop Kamala Project. Jonathan McQuay here with me. Jonathan, nice to see you today.
How's it going, Steve?
Going
Appreciate
well,
it.
my friend. So this comes out of Virginia, which, by the way, the governor there in Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, has said for a while, Virginia's in play. You'd be able to speak to that more than I can, but that would be a huge twist on things if a couple of other states like Virginia or New Hampshire came in and supported Donald Trump. First of all, why the Stop Kamala Project?
I've been working with the Constitutional Rights PAC and the Stop Kamala Project. It is our goal is to reach over 1 million Black voters, to get them registered and make them aware. Why? It would be not an issue of something that we'd have to deal with in the past, but it essentially is to educate voters. So I think there is a misconceived notion that Kamala didn't do anything and Joe Biden didn't do anything while in office. That's not necessarily true. It's just a fact of what their focus was. So Kamala did quite a bit. She raised $5.2 billion to help stimulate job growth in Honduras and Mexico. During that time, over 500,000 Americans lost their job and 800,000 native-born Americans lost their job. And also coupled with the fact that 1.5 million illegal migrants took those jobs. A main focus for us is the Black community. That sample size is reflective of quite a bit of Black Americans. So
and Jonathan, you actually have a website for theblackpeople.com, fortheblackpeople.com. And you mentioned the 1.5 million jobs taken by illegals. I think it's probably higher than that. Inflation,
Absolutely.
of course, squeezing families. Work to get ahead, paychecks are buying less, rent becoming more and more expensive. Rent could double, some say, in the next 10 years here in America. Schools are underfunded, Black schools are underfunded, students falling behind. Promised to start student relief programs so our kids could pursue their dreams, but she delivered nothing. She even locked up thousands of young Black men for weed, destroying lives and families. I mean, your list of grievances is long and damning for Kamala Harris, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the goal with the project, is to really rescue Black Americans from the Democratic stronghold. I have conversations with Black Americans every day, and with my church community, work community, and they all have a disdain towards the last 4 years. However, for some odd reason, it seems every 4 years they still capture a good portion of the Black vote. So that's our goal with this project, is to really make people aware. I think Kamala has done a great job up to this point of avoiding questions and word salads. But now the media, because their credibility is on the line, is having to hold it to the fire. It's a little late in the party. So that's our goal really here, is to let people know and make them aware of what Joe Biden and Kamala have actually been up to the last 4 years.
Right.
A lot of these things have greatly affected Black Americans. When you figure the majority of sanctuary cities are in areas that are highly populated by Black individuals.
Let me ask you this, as I want to play something for you here, but I want to ask you, before I play this, I want to ask you about Barack Obama basically wagging his finger at Black men, saying, you know, you guys, the brothers are letting us down, or however he put it, right? I'm paraphrasing a bit. How did that sit with you? Barack Obama basically telling you you're not pulling your weight?
With great disdain. It's very reminiscent of Joe Biden back in 2020, 2019, when he went on the Breakfast Club show, and he said, "You ain't Black if you don't vote for me," which the Black community should have a huge problem with that. To me, it's reverse segregation, right? It puts us in a position where we feel like we have to vote a certain way, even if it is void of anything that is policies or things put in place that actually are beneficial for us, which has been the story for the last 4 years. They can't deny their record. They can't deny the statistics and how they have.
Well, and I thought that was pretty cringy, you know. And then the Men for Kamala ad was pretty bad. But then I saw this. It's bite number 10, Anthony. You can pull this one up. Bite 10, brand new ad from Kamala Harris. It's running online. I don't know if it's on television, but it's online. Listen in.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making 6 figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
Okay, so you can't get a date if you're a black guy and you don't have a plan to vote for Kamala. All the ladies are just going to shun you. I mean, come on, come
And
on.
that's really all they have, though, right? They can't run on their record. Democrats, the best thing they have going for them is the marketing and the mechanics. It ain't the record, it's not the policy, and it's not the statistics. Those are all in Trump's favor by far. So I think that's just a pivot, right? It's hilarious, but at the end of the day, it's also the only thing that they really have in their repertoire.
The marketing and the mechanics. I like the way you put that. I think that's right, Jonathan. All right, so look, according to everything that I've seen in anecdotal evidence, Donald Trump's going to get a bigger amount of support from the black community and black voters than any Republican candidate since 1960. And you know what's weird to me, Jonathan? It was Dwight Eisenhower that signed the first civil rights bill into law in 1957. And somehow the Democrats get all the credit for civil rights in America, when it was the Democrats who were blocking civil rights in the Senate in 1964 and 65. It was Republicans that got it through. It was Republicans that made it happen. It was Republicans that looked out for the protection of all citizens of America. Anyhow, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, so I mean, Steve, this is why I really enjoy your show. I watch your stuff because you peel back the layers and you get to the facts. That's a great fact, and I think black Americans have been bamboozled in the sense of not having an opportunity to actually have access to these statistics and know that it was Democrats that positioned themselves to block the civil rights movement, and somehow they've propagated on black plight for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
To continue to keep power. So. If your viewers can get a chance, please go to fortheblackpeople.com and check out our website.
It's an interesting website, guys. I've been looking at it. He's right. It's got a lot of facts on there. It's got a lot of information. Help keep this ad on the air. fortheblackpeople.com. It's the Constitutional Rights PAC. The Constitutional Rights PAC. And Jonathan, I greatly appreciate the work you're doing, my friend. Thank you.
Absolutely, Steve. Keep at it. I appreciate you having me today.
fortheblackpeople.com. I'll be right back.